When you think of Tokyo, a city on the water probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind, but when sailors and merchants used to visit Japan, they used to describe Tokyo as exactly that, even comparing it to the Adriatic and Venice and all of those places. Tokyo has countless waterways and riverways that can be enjoyed if you know how, and that's what we're doing today. I got my captain's license here in Japan last year, with one of the goals being to be able to enjoy the riverways of Tokyo. Then did a little seminar because Tokyo Bay and the rivers have their own rules and whatnot. And then about the time that I finished up with all that, winter hit. And so recently I've been getting back on the water and thought that today I bring you guys along for the ride. Oh, that is bright. We probably can't do the entire city in a day, but we're gonna have some fun. This area around Tennozu Isle makes pretty decent use of the river space with like restaurants and hi duck and very distracting duck. And as we get over here, there's a wall painted with a Tsugaru shamisen player, which is pretty awesome. And we've got some cherry blossom trees there, blooming pretty early. I might know a spot that should have a little more trees than that though. But before we take a quick peek at the sakura, I want to head out towards Odaiba because there's something really cool I want to show you there. Now I want to avoid getting too close, but this right here, this is what I want to show you. So the area of Odaiba is back there, and I often come to Odaiba by walking over Rainbow Bridge, and from the top you can see this island. It's always been a mystery to me until recently when I found out that these islands here, which nobody is allowed onto, were originally islands for cannons to protect Japan and help keep the country closed. There was originally something like 11 of these spread throughout the area. The word Daiba itself actually comes from these islands here, these cannon islands, and the area of Odaiba, if you didn't know, is actually reclaimed land. If you look at some of the old area maps or nautical maps, Odaiba and this entire area, it simply wasn't there, but you can see just how much of Tokyo is based on the water. These Daiba here were kind of consolidated and built into the area of Odaiba. So if you look at the entrance, you can actually see remnants of these Daiba. In fact, that one over there, you can access that one from Odaiba and go onto it and explore it. It's a ton of fun. But ones like this, nobody is allowed on them anymore. It's still the beginning of March right now, so these are the early blossoming type, and it's not a ton, but it is enough to have my own personal little hanami session. Let's go explore some of the city canals. Alright, so before we get into the city and the canals and everything, there's actually one spot that I really love that I want to show you. While legally you can anchor pretty much anywhere, you don't want to be anchoring in a narrow canal or in a river or something like that. So if you do want to take a break and anchor, I don't know, maybe order a pizza or something like that, one of the best places for that is coming in here into the Hamarikyu Gardens area. The Hamarikyu Gardens are just right there off to the side. They're closed right now. You can't actually go inside of them, but the waterways are open, and if you come out here on the weekend, more often than not, you'll actually have boats gathered and hanging out here and everything. It's just a really nice place to relax and anchor. we're not going to anchor today. I just wanted to show you. Now it is a paid garden to enter, and you can enter from land or there's a boat that'll bring you out here. But one of the things that I love about this place the most is just the juxtaposition between the garden itself and the city in the background. And I have yet to ever see it crowded. And is that one of the Tokyo water taxis? It is. I've literally never actually seen one of these in operation. I hear that during cherry blossom season, they can get really popular and you need to book them as early as 6 months in advance, but it's my first time ever actually seeing one. Okay, let's get into the city. So this river here is the Sumida River. Right now we're right beside Asakusa. We've got the Sky Tree and the Asahi building over here. And this, when we talk about the Tokyo being a city on the water, this was the core of that culture. The Sumida River was the river of the people, even more so than it is today. And you can still see remnants of that today when you've got the Sumida River fireworks and you've got the Hotaru Festival or the Lantern Festival right here on the river. Small pieces of that still remain, but it's nothing like it was. The big change happened after the 1923 Great Earthquake, and then the next big change obviously happened after the World War, and between those two they had to rebuild so many things, and a lot of that river and water culture disappeared. For a while, floods and tsunamis became such a concern that the river was blocked off by giant seawalls on either side, and they've now added walkways to these seawalls, and they're trying to bring back that culture of enjoying the waterways of Tokyo. And you can see that in areas like this. In fact, there's this whole walkway that goes around here for jogging, and they're thinking of moving the Tokyo Marathon out to this area. And there's a canal in here that I want to show you. These gates here have lights just like traffic lights, which will be red or green to let you know if you can come in and out. And that was a duck that just went clear right over my head. And so distracting. Although this particular canal ends in a dead end, the number of river-facing shops that they've built along, as well as the view of the Sky Tree, makes it one of my favorite spots to just zip in and out. I have to be really careful of depth right now because we are at exactly the lowest point in the tide right now. And while there is an arguably better view available from the other side, you actually have to approach from that side, and it requires us to go through lift locks and whatnot, and I didn't want to spend too much of our time in locks today, so I figured this little peek at the Sky Tree would be good enough for now. All right, let's see if we can't get out to the area of Akihabara through some of the narrow canals. I'm looking forward to this. The one concern I do have in this canal here is getting the intake for the engine plugged by some kind of garbage, because there's a lot of garbage in the water. So as we come into this section here, because of the number of boats on each side, we try to bring down the speed as much as possible. Don't want to create wake and have the boats unnecessarily shake up against the pier, maybe do damage to them. It got really dark as I was saying that. This is just such a beautiful space to boat through. This is something else. Wow. Some of these boats are incredibly old too, and just made out of wood. Right now, the area that we're in is the Asakusabashi area. It's just down the road from Asakusa. And again, from above, from the bridges and whatnot, I have seen this space countless times. It's just something else being down here. So when you get into this space, one of the things that you do have to be careful of is these rather aggressive, jagged rock walls here, but it's more than wide enough. You definitely got space to turn around if you need to. And I'm pretty sure that that is already Akihabara up ahead of me. I recognize the the Blue Bridge. So up in that area there, which is Ochannomizu, there's a beautiful spot right up on the bridge where you can catch the crossing of the trains and get some it's really, really nice. After a decade and a half in Japan, I can't believe that I haven't done this sooner. This is a 6-hour boat rental, by the way, and when I started today, I thought unequivocally that we would have more than enough time to shoot everything that I wanted and to go everywhere that I wanted, but this canal here actually goes through all the way around, and I'm gonna have to do that entire loop another time. Now, I might save that for summer because the second half of the loop is almost entirely covered by all the highways and whatnot, so it'd be nice to get out of the summer sun. But I did not expect us to run out of time today. This is just so much fun. Look at the parking job of that dump truck. When I get really focused, I'm the kind of person who just totally forgets to eat. So this is the Sakura Madeleine. It's amazing. Look at that, you got the trains behind me. Everything is just so distracting right now. I am loving this. I did a podcast for my Patreon crew recently where I talked about when the borders finally open up, how Patreon boat rides through Tokyo are 100% going to have to be a thing that we do. Also, I filmed a lot of today, and I mean a lot of today, on my 360 camera from Insta360. I want to be able to focus on the water and not worry about the camera. I have no idea how anything turned out. Hopefully it was good. I am racing the time back. Seriously, we've got to do this again. We've barely even scratched the surface of the Tokyo waterways. There's so much more to see. Let me know what you think down below. And I will see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.